Welcome to this Hollow Knight boss tutorial. In this video, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks to teach you to tangle with the toughest of tyrants. Without further ado, let's jump right in. In this tutorial, I'm going to help you defeat the tyrant of terrors himself, Nightmare King Grimm. While you may have conquered his previous iteration, Troopmaster Grimm, the Nightmare King's far superior to his predecessor. Considered to be one of the most difficult bosses in the game, this horror hooligan is nothing to scoff at. Doing double the damage and moving at twice the speed, this is a fight where you need to stay on your toes. Have no fear, however, as there's one simple tip you need to consider before going into this fight. This battle is meant to be a dance. Each movement is choreographed in a way that gives you a mostly universal way to dodge each attack. Speaking of attacks, Grimm himself has 6 unique attacks to learn how to dodge. These include the Fire Bats, the Flame Pillar, the Dash Uppercut, the Dive Dash, the Cloak Spikes, and finally, the Pufferfish. This attack is indicated whenever Grimm teleports to the other side of the arena and opens up his cape. He will then shoot out 4 bats in a pattern. The first and third go high, while the other 2 go lower. Grimm leaves a large opening between the higher and lower bats, giving you ample space to dash through. Try not to jump through immediately though, as he'll teleport away if you get too close before he finishes firing the bats. This attack happens whenever Grimm teleports to a spot in the air and continues to hover there. He then summons 4 pillars at the player's location, one at a time. They start forming at the player's feet and will extend to the top of the arena. After it disappears, it leaves a flame on the ground that damages the player if touched. The best strategy here is to slowly move in one direction so all the pillars are up behind you, doing your best to avoid the corners. This should give you enough time to strike the boss a few times before he teleports away. Before attacking, Grimm will appear a short distance away from the player, before dashing towards their location. Afterwards, he'll launch an uppercut into the air, disappear, and rain down 6 fireballs from the sky. When you see him get ready to dash, the best bet is to dash away from him yourself, then try to get an attack or 2 in before he uppercuts if possible. Without enough room to dash away, you should dash through him as he closes the distance between you and him. To dodge the fireballs, a spot that's always safe is right next to where he originally launched his uppercut. For this attack, Grimm teleports into the air, then dives towards the player and dashes across the screen. Both the dive and dash leave a flame trail behind them, damaging the player if they come into contact with it. To dodge the initial dive, dash, walk, or jump to avoid it once it begins. The best option to dodge the following dash is to jump over it. If you double jump or manage to downstrike Grimm while he dashes, the fire trail will despawn before you hit the ground. Indicating the start of this attack, small spikes will jut out from the bottom of the arena. The spikes give you a second or 2 to orient yourself before they extend towards the top of the arena, as they don't do damage until at full length. While they cover a lot of ground, there's enough space between each spike to stand without taking damage. And don't worry about losing any opportunities to damage the boss here, as he will not be present on the screen to damage him during this attack. This attack occurs twice in the fight, once at 66 and again at 33% health. Grimm teleports to the middle of the arena, then inflating into a spiky ball. He then shoots out waves of quick fireballs that you have to jump and navigate through. For this attack, it's best to stay close to the wall but not too close, so you can give yourself enough space to move back a little to dodge each fireball. To dodge efficiently, make your jumps as small as possible. This way you don't hit any fireballs above your head, and you give yourself enough time to dodge the next wave. If you're willing to sacrifice some health, you can dash through the fireballs to unleash a few hits on Grimm before the attack ends, but it's not recommended if you're having trouble with any other aspects in the fight. Healing is a bit of a doozy in this fight, especially when Grimm moves with such a fast pace. Despite that, there are a handful of opportunities that allow you to heal yourself, should you need it. However, these opportunities often involve sacrificing the opportunity to get a few hits on the boss. First, you can heal during the Flame Pillar attack, right after the last one begins to form. Of course, you need to move out of the way first. Next, you can heal yourself during the Fire Bat attack, although a little more risky. If you immediately jump around the first bat, you have time to heal while the next flies above your head. The final attack is the Cloak Spikes. While the spikes extend, they give you enough time to heal before they retract and Grimm continues his offensive. Healing here is a little tricky though, given how you need time to position yourself. A few times throughout the fight, Grimm will stagger after you get a few hits in. During this, he flies around as a swarm of bats, the main one having glowing red eyes. You can either choose to attack the red-eyed one to get extra damage in, or you can take the time to heal, up to 3 times if you do it early enough. Quite a few different types of charms will help you to combat this frightening fiend. The Shape of Wound charm transforms you into a slug while you heal, letting you move around and giving you more opportunities to heal if you need it. The Dream Shield charm summons an orbiting shield around you. This can be used to block some of the boss's attacks, especially the fire bats. The Sharp Shadow charm allows you to dash farther and deal damage to enemies if you dash through them. It allows you to dodge much easier and close the distance between you and Grimm. The Strength charm lets you deal more damage with each hit, shortening the fight overall. The Mark of Pride or Long Nail charms let you hit from a farther distance, giving you a safe distance to dodge if you need it. A highly helpful charm is Quick Slash, which lets you get in an extra hit or two whenever you have an opportunity to attack. As we near the end, I hope each of these tips help you to overcome this otherwise ominous overlord. While you may not get it first try, this fight can be defeated through pure determination and diligence in applying these tricks. However, I do have one last tip. If you find yourself really stuck, you can take the easy way out. You can cowardly choose to cast out Grimm's crazed carnival crew, forgoing the challenge completely. Though, I recommend you relish in the radically rambunctious rumble. It's worth the difficulty. Alright, that seems to be all the information I can give. I hope that these tips help you to conquer this boss in a much easier fashion. That's it. Goodbye.